Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a horror comedy film, Feast Part 2, Sloppy Seconds. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with a leather-clad, dark-haired woman named Biker Queen discovering a severed hand in the middle of the desert. The tattoo on the severed hand matches the same tattoo she has on her hand. It turns out the severed hand belongs to her twin sister who died in the first film. Biker Queen is seeking revenge on the person who killed her sister. Biker Queen is tough as nails, and she will stop at nothing to get justice. She heads to the bar that was attacked by monsters in the first film. She discovers the almost dead bartender hiding underneath a car. She shows him the severed hand and tortures him to get information on who caused the death of her twin sister. At first, the bartender tries to tell her that it was a monster who killed her sister. She then places his hand on the hot exhaust pipe of her motorcycle. Under excruciating pain, the bartender reveals that one of the first film's survivors named Bozo is to blame for using her sister as bait for the monsters. They had initially thought she was dead, and even when her eyes opened and she begged them to let her go, Bozo still continued with the plan and offered her to the monster. The bartender laments that Bozo, his brother Wheelchair, and Tuffy had all left him behind at the bar. He tells Biker Queen that Bozo usually hangs out in the nearby town. A flashback reveals that 16 hours earlier, the town was attacked by monsters. Two Mexican wrestler brothers named Lightning and Thunder were besieged by monsters in their trailer park home. One of the monsters killed Lightning's girlfriend. The two ran away from their house. Meanwhile, a homeless man short-named Hobo is in jail for dealing meth. The sheriff questioned him regarding the location of the bus where he cooks the meth, but he doesn't budge. Hobo used to be a very intelligent student, but his life has led him to poverty. Suddenly, monsters attack the jail and kill the sheriff. Across town, a car salesman believed that his wife is having an affair with one of his employees. He was desperate to find evidence of her infidelity. When the monsters attacked, salesman was holed up in his office. He got into his car and discovered his wife and employee there in a compromising position. He was about to curse them both out when a creature landed on top of the car. The next morning, Biker Queen and her 4 friends ride into town. It is now deserted and chaotic because of the monsters. She had tied the bartender to her motorcycle so he could point out where Hobo lives. Salesman and the two managed to run back to his office and board up all the windows and doors. The wife peeks through the slats of the wooden panels and sees that the monsters are no longer there. She suggests going to the town jail since it would be safer there, but Salesman deems it too risky to try. Biker Queen and her friends are about to leave town when the employee tries to go out of the office. Salesman yanks him back inside, but not before Biker Queen sees them. She bursts into the office and points her gun at Salesman. A monster suddenly attacks the group and kills one of Biker Queen's friends. The group runs across town to Bozo's apartment. When they go upstairs, they encounter a family of survivors with guns. They refuse to let Biker Queen pass, so they shoot the family. Biker Queen's red-haired friend steps up and whacks the father with a pair of hammers. A blonde girl named Honey Pie emerges from the hallway with her hands raised. She claims that she has no idea who the family is, and she doesn't want any trouble. The woman is Honey Pie, the bar waitress who left the survivors behind in the first film. The bartender recognizes her and is immediately enraged. He slams her head multiple times on the toilet bowl as punishment. Afterward, he elbows her in the face and bites her ear off. Honey Pie pulls out her gun to defend herself, but Biker Queen sees her twin sister's name inscribed on the barrel of the gun. She asks Honey Pie where she got the gun, but the bartender stands up and knocks Honey Pie straight out a window and down the street. She survives the fall. Meanwhile, Salesman and the two are scurrying around. One of the wrestlers calls his phone and tries to guide him to safety, but Biker Queen catches up to him. Together, they go to the wrestler's lair. Inside is the body of a dead monster they killed and their grandmother. They've been hiding inside the garage, playing cards and waiting for help. They come up with the plan of getting into the jailhouse, the most secure building in town, where they will be safe from the monsters. Biker Queen attempts to call Hobo inside the jailhouse to tell him to let them in, but Hobo just mocks her. He has locked himself in and will not open the doors for them. Honey Pie limps down the street to find a place where she can take shelter. She goes inside a store and discovers a dead human body inside. Salesman, Lightning, and Thunder get the idea to make a key that can open the jailhouse door. The two brothers run across the street toward their shop where they sell keys. Using their metal machine, they try to shape a key that would fit in the lock. Inside the garage, the employee decides to dissect the monster's corpse. He uses a blowtorch to vivisect the monster's chest. However, the body emits a noxious odor that has everybody wincing from how bad it smells. The employee pries the chest open and sees that green liquid is bubbling inside the corpse. Eventually, green liquid like hormone juice bursts from the body and splashes everyone. The survivors all start vomiting, but the employee stays strong and continues exploring the cadaver. More strange liquid emits from the body and sprays everyone else. The girls continue to vomit from the disgusting substance. Finally, Biker Queen points a shotgun at the employee to make him stop. He suddenly notices that there's a large eyeball inside the monster's body. A tentacle slowly slithers out of its chest, and the creature emits a horrible piercing shriek. Biker Queen kills it with her gun. After successfully making a key, Lightning and Thunder return to the garage, where they see the aftermath of the liquid explosion. They get mad at the others for letting their grandmother be injured by the vomit. However, they realize that the shriek that the monster gave was a homing signal to the other creatures. The other monsters are now swarming the garage, trying to squeeze their monstrous muscles in. They all flee to the roof to hide from the monsters. However, the employee gets left behind at the staircase. Salesman informs his wife that her hormone partner is now dead, and he tries to comfort her using his muscles. Suddenly, the employee arrives and appears to be well. The wife then runs back to the employee, possibly because his hormones smell better than her husband. The group now has the key they need to enter the jailhouse, but they are trapped on the roof because of the monsters. Meanwhile, Honey Pie collapses on the floor of the store due to her injuries. The doors of the store are emergency locked, so she can't get out. She recalls her memories with a man and hallucinates about worms squirming all over her body and shit-smelly liquid pouring out of her mouth. In her dream, the man dies. Honey Pie suddenly wakes up and sees two monsters letting go of their monstrous hormones outside of the store window. She tries to climb inside a hole in the store ceiling using a ladder, but she falls on top of one of the shelves. Meanwhile, the grandma is now close to death. The wrestlers mourn her loss. Suddenly, they all hear the cries of a fat baby coming from the station wagon across the salesman's office. Morning comes, and the annoying baby is still crying. It turns out it's the baby of salesman's customer that night. The parents are both dead because of the monsters. The employee could not take it anymore, so he grabs an electric cable from a nearby pole and uses it to rappel down the building. He lands on the street and runs toward the station wagon. He gets the baby and runs back to the building, but a monster appears and chases them. Biker Queen and the others try to shoot the monster, but to no avail. Scared for his life, he sacrifices the heavy baby and throws it at the monster so he can escape. The monster devours the innocent child and leaves behind a tiny dismembered arm. Another monster crawls up the building and takes a bite out of one of Biker Queen's friends. The group decides to sacrifice the overweight girl, since she's already dying anyway. They then throw her from the rooftop. A monster also gets inside the store and attacks Honey Pie for some honey juice. She fights back and knocks the monster unconscious. The group makes a catapult so they can launch themselves into the jailhouse. They use the leather clothes of the bikers. When the catapult is finished, it's suggested that they use the dying grandmother as the test subject. Lightning and Thunder fight over this, but in the end, they decide to go ahead with catapulting the old woman. Honey Pie gets the idea to use the monster's claws to make a hole in the store glass door. At this point, the grandmother's body parts are already calcifying and breaking apart. Salesman loads her greasy body on the catapult, but her weight is too heavy, so they break off more parts to decrease her weight. They also unload the green liquid inside her body. The wrestlers say goodbye to their grandmother. They then launch her, but she ends up being smashed into a wall. The group adjusts the catapult and uses Thunder as the next test subject. He holds the key, and once he lands in the jail, he's supposed to open the doors to them. Biker Queen uses her motorcycle engine to launch Thunder from the catapult, but he falls short and is devoured by several monsters. The bike's tailpipe flies off and skewers the employee in the head. Meanwhile, Lightning hides under a trash can and crawls toward his brother so he can get the key. At this point, the monsters have bitten off the lower half of Thunder's body. Lightning slowly inches toward the jailhouse with the key. The wife finally sees her dead hormone partner, and she screams in grief, not caring much about the feelings of her husband. Honey Pie walks out of the store and traverses the road out of the town. The monster regains consciousness and chases her. Lightning reaches the jailhouse door, but Hobo is waiting for him. When he unlocks the door, Hobo throws a stick of lit dynamite outside. The explosion launches Lightning several yards away into the street. Meanwhile, more monsters reach the rooftop, and this seals the group's tragic fate. They have failed to reach the jailhouse, and nothing stands between them and the monsters anymore. There's nowhere else to run. A piece from the trash can flies into the air because of the explosion and hits Honey Pie in the head. The movie ends with Honey Pie collapsing on the street dead, not knowing when the monstrous attack will be over. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.